Good evening. The following is a live broadcast for the City of Kingsport Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Board meetings are regularly scheduled on the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 7 p.m. In advance of the BMA meeting, a copy of the agenda is available for inspection at the Kingsport Public Library, City Hall, or online at kingsporttn.gov.
Good evening. Welcome to the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman business meeting. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd. This is the meeting where we deliberate and then vote on various issues. The first item of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, led by Jessa McMurray, one of our outstanding planners for the city. And please remain standing for the invocation by Pastor Chris Brown from the Colonial Heights United Methodist Church.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for the sunshine and even the rain. We give you thanks for the service in this community. We give you thanks for the opportunity to gather tonight and for this beautiful space that we can gather in. Help this meeting tonight, Lord. Give us wisdom and guidance. Help us to make decisions that are good and pleasing for this community to flourish. Also, Lord, we pray for our neighbors to the north, those around us who've had recent flooding. Help us remember them and to be mindful of ways that we can help. So bless this time together, and all these things we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor, and thank you, Jessica. Please be seated. Madam Recorder, please take the roll.
Mayor Scholl.
Here.
Vice Mayor George.
Here.
Alderman Cooper.
Here.
Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Montgomery.
Here.
Alderman Alterman.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. By my reckoning, all 7 elected officials are present. Our city manager is a little bit under the water, but we're going to be guided here by the capable hands of our deputy city manager, Ryan McReynolds. Mr. McReynolds, please proceed.
All right, we start off with 2 recognitions. First is recognizing National Farmers Market Week, and as Alderman Phillips is coming to the podium, Michael Borders will join them.
So, unfortunately, Christy Leonard couldn't be here tonight. I believe it may be her birthday. It is. Which means, since she's not here, I'll have to say nice things about her, unlike if she was. So, but I do want to say, Christy has done an outstanding job with our farmers market. I just, the amount of work she puts in and the growth of the market has been incredible, and I think she recently added a food truck that's been down there the last few Saturdays, and I'm proud of what she's done from somebody who's seen it before she was involved, and today I think we should all be thankful that Christy's here. And a couple of stats on our farmers market is this year the farmers market was voted the best in East Tennessee by Tennessee Magazine. They were 3rd place for best social media and 2nd for best website in the state of Tennessee, and we've won best social media before. And then our farmers market is so well recognized that on July 9th, the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, Deputy Director Jeff Aden came up from Nashville to visit the farmers market. It was a good day, correct?
It was a great day.
And so we've got a proclamation here for, I want to say it exactly right. It is officially National Farmers Market Week. So everybody make sure to go out Saturday and Wednesday, tomorrow morning as well. Whereas the mission of the Kingsport Farmers Market is to provide a vibrant, diverse marketplace for local and regional farmers and artisans to sell their products to the Kingsport community, and whereas Kingsport farmers provide citizens with access to healthful, locally and regionally produced foods through farmers markets, which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demand for a diverse array of agricultural products, and whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide infrastructure to assist in the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing over $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. And whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generating revenue that supports the substantial sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of rural communities nationwide. And whereas the City of Kingsport recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers, generate farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connection through rural and urban linkages, and now, therefore, the City of Kingsport Board of Mayor and Alderman and the Mayor, Patrick W. Scholl, do hereby proclaim August 7th through 13th as National Farmers Market Week in Kingsport, and we encourage our fellow citizens to join us in celebrating the Kingsport Farmers Market's contributions to our community, including the amazing corn that I had from there the other day. So the corn is top-notch from there. So do you want to say anything about the farmers market and Christie?
I will. Oh, sorry, James. First, let me say that Daryl is here on his birthday, so Christy is having to explain to me why that she was absent this meeting. Yeah, absolutely. So we have a great farmers market. We have great programming from Saturdays with the Chef. We have new programming with Pharmacy Fit. Of course, with our SNAP benefits, we have market jams. So we truly have an amazing farmers market in Kingsport, Tennessee, and something we can truly be proud of. And thank you for your support of it.
Thank you, Michael. James, step on up here at the podium. James, being the youngest member of the board, that brings its own special burden, doesn't it?
That's exactly right.
And there's no accident that I put these two veterans here, on either side of you to watch you.
They got to keep me in check.
Yeah. But, James, I want to thank you for the way you've performed as an alderman for over 3 years now. You've been an invaluable liaison to our builders and realtors. You've represented the city out there in the world in those kind of forums. You took a special interest in our trades education, like at the TCAT and so forth. You've been very conscientious on all issues, reach out to the public. I feel pretty good about, passing this torch on one day to you, and if there's others in your generation that are willing to take this task of public service. But I want to give you a coin because you've been deserving it.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate
All
that.
right. Thank you.
So next, we have a very special guest that is part of a program we do within the Water Services Public Outreach, and we're celebrating an award that we received in the Tennessee-Kentucky Water Professionals Conference related to the public outreach. So escorting Stormy to the front is Chad Austin, and we're super excited to have Stormy here as well.
Let me explain what the award is. It recognizes clean water professional members in Tennessee and Kentucky for significant accomplishments in promoting public awareness and understanding of water environment issues through the development of and implementation of outreach, education, and/or communication programs. So when you think about stormwater and storm drains, it's too hard to get very excited. If they don't work, it's like everything in public works. I think if they don't work, then you notice it. But if they are working like they should, you probably have a blind eye as you pass 100 a day. But our city has found a way to make storm drains exciting. In 2018, the Stormwater Department with the City of Kingsport Public Works Department decided to host the very first storm drain art contest. I remember that, and when I heard that, I thought, but it is so neat because 5 years later, the city is accepting entries for the 5th annual drain artwork. So you still have till Friday to get your artwork in if you're interested in painting one of the drains. The goal of this contest is to raise awareness and increase education about the importance of stormwater. Ryan and I had a discussion on Monday about everything that goes down those storm drains is a direct access to our creeks and our rivers. So you don't think about when trash or cups or cigarette butts are thrown in those storm drains, they end up in our water system. So this program, it just increases awareness of how it's important to keep the things that go in the storm drains, what needs to be in the storm drains, just storm water and water runoff. Drains have been painted throughout our downtown neighborhoods and near our schools. Community support for this contest comes from a variety of sources, from our city's Public Arts Commission to the local nonprofit organization Engage Kingsport. Every year, they ask local businesses to support the contest. With the support of those businesses, they are able to cover the cost of the paint for the winning artist. And they use traffic paint because it's more durable and skid resistant. So the cost of the paint is included, is sponsored by our local businesses. And the winning artist receives $100 as a prize, but this year they get $150 because it's the 5th anniversary. So if you're interested in painting one, or you know someone that loves to paint, get your entries in the next couple of days. The City of Kingsport loves to host this contest every year and give the community a chance to share in the education of the importance of stormwater. Through our efforts, other cities across the United States have reached out and asked for more information and a desire to do the storm drain art contest in the city. But like I said, in the past 5 years, you really notice them, and it draws your attention to something that normally you have a blind eye to. So I think that this contest and things like this are huge in educating our citizens about what needs to actually go in the stormwater. And we're so lucky today to have Stormy here and Chad to accept the Public Outreach Award presented to the City of Kingsport 2022. Thank you.
Okay.
And James was asking if I needed someone to come stand with me, and I said, I've got the best mascot. Who else brings a mascot to their thing? Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Amanda McMullen is not here today, but she's been huge in keeping this program going, and so if you see her, just thank her too for what she's done to keep this program.
So Amanda, our stormwater technician, and Adrian and her group are really big proponents of this, and they promote it very well, and we get a lot of entries, and we have to pare it down to 5 that we get to have the art throughout the city. So this award is really Amanda and Adrian's group are really the ones that got this award.
Well,
Nothing to do with me.
As my granddaughter was walking around Kingsport about a couple weeks back, she really noticed all those. I mean, she was looking at all, so they are noticed by people, so that she was very into all the artwork. And so thank you for what you do, and thank you, Stormy.
And this is Elise Dobbins. She's
Thank you.
one of our engineers in water services, and she graciously volunteered to come do this.
4 years of college and engineering degree.
And that's just,
This is the high point, right?
Yes.
And I'll take a second just to say how excited we are to have Elise. She is one that moved here, was attracted here, Kingsport, Tennessee, from Chicago.
Right.
And we think we have got her for the long haul, which we're super excited about. So
keep making the rest of it Stormy. You
yeah,
might.
if we keep making, she loves it. But thank you so much.
Stormy, I have a special request. Can you give Alderman Duncan a high five? It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Daryl.
Then can she walk through the chairs and around in a figure 8?
Thank you. And seriously, we really appreciate all that our utilities do, the water and sewer and stormwater. Deputy, please continue.
So there are two appointments for your consideration tonight, to the same board, the Neighborhood Advisory Commission. You will be considering both of them with one action. The first is Amy Provence, and she's to fulfill the unexpired term of Suzanne Burns. And the second is Christy McMicken to fulfill the unexpired term of Katie Priester. We ask that you approve these appointments.
Thank you. Is there a motion from the floor for approving this action?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes unanimously, 7-0. Mr. Deputy.
The next item is approval of minutes for the work session on Monday, July 18th, 2022, and the business meeting on Tuesday, July 19th, 2022. We ask that you approve these minutes as submitted.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve these items as presented?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? They pass 7-0. I see that there's no public hearings. However, at this time, this is the citizen comment section. Citizens may come forward to the podium and speak to the board on agenda items only, the items that we consider tonight. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. A total of 30 minutes is allocated for public comment during this part of the agenda. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward and speak to the board about an agenda item only? If not, I declare this part of the proceedings to be concluded. Mr. City Manager, please proceed.
All right, the first item is fiscal year 2022 budget adjustment ordinance. It's a fairly standard item this time of year. You would think John Morris would be done with most of his work when the budget's approved, but it's not. He has to continue to work to shore up funds in past year, preparing the board to consider kind of the closeout of fiscal year 2022. So he's worked real hard in this ordinance. The majority of the focus of this ordinance is the funds such as Meadowview, Aquatic Center, Solid Waste, cattails, and then our health insurance risk and our retiree health insurance as well. We ask that you approve this ordinance on first reading.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2022, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Is there any discussion? If not, this is an ordinance on first reading, therefore we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
All right, so this is a budget ordinance, but for fiscal year 2023. And this ordinance establishes the funds necessary to, one, allow KHRA to purchase the remaining property on Oak Street so they can begin working on the plans they have for senior housing. And two, allows us to partner with Keep Kingsport Beautiful and the effort that we both are passionate about in keeping the Greenbelt clean. We ask that you approve this ordinance on first
Both
reading.
very worthy projects. Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. Deputy City Manager.
All right, we have 4 items that are up for second and final reading. The first is a consideration to amend the fiscal year 2023 General Purpose School Fund and the General Project Fund budget. We ask that you approve this item on second and final reading.
Thank you. And I'd remind our public that an ordinance on second reading requires a roll call vote. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the General Purpose School Fund and General Project Fund budgets for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 7-0. Next item.
So the next item is a consideration of a budget adjustment ordinance for various funds in fiscal year 2022. We ask that you approve this item on second and final reading.
Ryan, I guess we ought to remind the public that these kind of a budget adjustments is more like a fine tuning. It's not some major change in what we'd already approved or so forth.
That's right. This is common toward the end of a fiscal year, and then as we are reaching the closeout, there are funds that need adjustments. John mentioned some kind of a unique situation last year where we had so many vacancies within the city that the health fund didn't have as much of the city employee contribution, so there needed to be an adjustment within it. So it's similar. You try and write all the funds before the fiscal year ends.
Ultimately, a budget is our best estimate,
Yes, sir.
and we might get by spending less than what we projected, so.
That's right.
Okay. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2022, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper. Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, it passes 7-0. Next item.
The next item is another consideration of budget adjustment ordinance, this time for fiscal year, various funds in fiscal year 2023. And we ask that you approve this item on second and final reading.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alterman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, it passes 7-0. I guess, Mr. Deputy, I ought to remind the public that if it seems like we're speeding through these, every member of the board has met individually with the city manager to go over the items. Then we meet after that together in a work session. We're not allowed to vote at a work session, but we go over the items in detail. So by the time we get to this meeting, we're pretty familiar with what we're voting on, and occasionally there will be some discussion back and forth, or maybe an ask for some clarification, but that explains why the tempo of this particular meeting. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend Chapter 6, Article 3, Section 218 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Kingsport, Tennessee, relating to the hours of operation of beer sales and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. I skipped you, didn't I?
Well, that's all right.
You want to explain it briefly?
I will. The final item is a consideration of an ordinance to amend Section 6-218 of the City Code. This is to change the hours of beer sales to align with what occurred a few years back with the statewide wine in grocery stores. So it creates, it alleviates a lot of confusion within the grocery stores. So we ask that you approve this item on second and final reading.
Absolutely. Thank you. The attorney published it. It's now on the floor for someone to move for adoption.
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Nay.
Alderman Alterman.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, the item passes 6-1. Mr. City Manager.
Okay, now we move to the resolutions, and The next item is a resolution to amend the agreement with Central Technologies, Inc. to include all schools in the surveillance camera system upgrade project. This is an item that comes to us from the schools and was tied to the school budget ordinance amendment that you just acted upon, which will allow for the funding in this fiscal year. This will ensure that all schools will receive the upgrades to the video security systems. Once approved tonight, the schools will begin working with the vendor, and they anticipate a full installation will occur throughout the whole school year.
Yeah, and I think your key word was all the schools, every city school.
Every city school.
Yeah. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
Resolution amending the agreement with Central Technologies Incorporated for the Kingsport City Schools Surveillance Camera System Upgrade Project and authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the amendment.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
I think, is it seconded by Alderman Phillips? Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. Deputy City Manager.
Okay, the next item is a resolution to approve various sub-recipient agreements and authorizing the mayor to execute the same. This is an item that comes to us from the Community Development Advisory Committee, and it allocates our portion of the CDBG funding directed toward the public service programs, the clearing and demolition, as well as emergency home repair programs. So the applications were received by the committee and they were vetted, and these are the ones that they have recommended moving forward with this year. We ask that you approve this resolution.
Thank you. And if the board has any other questions or concerns, Ms. Jessica McMurray is here, our planner. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute agreements with various agencies and organizations for community development block grant funding in fiscal year 2022 to 2023.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve? Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second? Seconded by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. Deputy City Manager.
All right, the next item is a resolution to authorize the city recorder to reconcile and adjust uncollectible property taxes from the tax year 2011. So this is about 11 years in arrear, and it just allows us to clean up the books, and quite a few of these properties even been in bankruptcy or there is no one to collect. So we ask that you approve this resolution.
And I noted last night when we discussed that Lisa, our finance director, indicated that not only did we collect 99% of this tax that was owed, that's normally what we do collect. So it might take a while with a few people, but we get most of it eventually. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the city recorder to reconcile and adjust delinquent property tax receivables in fiscal year 2022 for the tax year 2011, and authorizing and directing the mayor and the city recorder to execute any pleadings necessary and proper for the delinquent tax collection lawsuit.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery, seconded by Alderman Alderman. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. Deputy.
We now move into the consent agenda. We have 7 items on the agenda. I'll read each item, and if any of the board members would like an item pulled for further discussion, just let me know. First is a resolution authorizing agreements with Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, granting certification to review and approve local water and sewer projects. The second is a resolution to rescind award to tire recapping services from Southern Tire Mart and awarding the bid to Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. The third is a resolution to enter into a lease with Kingsport Model Trains Project, Inc. at the Linview Community Center. Fourth is a resolution to enter into an agreement with Engage Kingsport to administer a cultural arts initiative. Fifth is a resolution approving a management control agreement between the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the city. Sixth is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to apply for and receive a AAA traffic safety grant for up to $15,000. And the final is a resolution rescheduling the meeting of the board, mayor, and aldermen in September 2022.
Thank you. Is there let me back up here. Are there any members that wish to have an item considered separately? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. It's moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
I'll second all 7 items.
Seconded by Alderman. Is there any discussion? If not, this requires a roll call vote. Please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye to all.
Alderman Duncan,
Aye to all.
Vice Mayor George,
Aye to all.
Alderman Montgomery,
Aye to all.
Alderman Olterman,
Aye to all.
Alderman Phillips,
Aye to all.
Mayor Schul.
Aye to all 7 items, therefore all pass unanimously. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we've moved into the communications section of the agenda. I do.
Okay, we're waiting.
She keeps me straight. First, I'd like to thank all the city employees. There's mentioned last board meeting, the Fun Fest effort, which is kind of all encompassing of many of the city employees. Not only do they work their day job, but they work throughout Fun Fest. But then there's kind of the post-Fun Fest, where they've worked for a long time and they're having to then catch up to a lot of other things. And if you drive around the city, it looks great. I know even though the schools on our side, they've presented the schools in a great way, preparing them for the first day. And I just really appreciate how all the employees were able to give such an effort through Fun Fest and then turn back around that very next day and begin doing their normal assignments and not miss a beat. Second, related to schools, I'd just like to thank this board and the BOE for creating such a great environment in Kingsport for our kids. I've got 4 kids. The third is starting his senior year, and our fourth is starting her 8th grade year. And we are just blown away of the different opportunities and the variety of opportunities and the preparation that each of my kids has been given in the school system. And that's very intentional by not only the school staff, tremendous teachers, but also the investment this board and the BOE have done over a long period of time.
And your children inherited their athleticism from their mother.
From their mother. And we hope most of their academic.
That too. Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
I'm going to start with Alderman. Who did I start with last time? You, Darrell? Okay, so it's your turn.
his
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Darrell.
I appreciate that.
Your birthday boy.
Yeah, it's the birthday. boy. You
Yeah, I
should
get to go first. It's my birthday. So yesterday we had a very good briefing from John Rose. And so it was just, each time he comes, you think, well, we've just heard this just not that long ago, but it was just really, it's always interesting to just see his perspective and hear what's coming in and the movement that we have downtown. So I really appreciated his presentation yesterday on just the growth that we've got, both retail and residential. This Saturday is Tomato Fest at the Farmers Market. So bring your ugliest tomato, your biggest tomato, or dress your tomato up. And so that goes from 9 to 11, and you may recognize some of the judges down there. So that'll be all. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Betsy.
I'm not going to mention Allendale because I'm sure Colette knows more about it than I do. The Allendale on this Thursday, but I'll leave that alone. That's it. I think everyone else will.
You covered everything.
I'm good.
All right. Paul?
I say happy birthday to you, Darrell, down there. Congratulations for the next milestone. Also, congratulations to all the schools that are opening, the teachers and parents who are excited about New Year. This is my second generation. Today, my grandson started kindergarten at Johnson, so I am pleased that the tradition continues.
And I know as a former president of the school board,
That's special.
you're especially
There's some special people
interested.
out there, yes. Also, there's some special people work for our Public Works Department. This summer, I believe, you guys have been in my neighborhood, Severe Terrace, all summer. And it's not only the good work they're doing, they're getting good comments from the neighbors of the courtesiness of them and how they're working and being protective of the driveways and allowing people to pass. So thank you, and extend that. I've actually stopped and told them that as well along the way. So thank you. That's it.
Is that it? Thank you. James?
Not much, just a couple things to piggyback off of, since it is National Farmers Market Week. I had the Homegrown Tomato Fest this Saturday, but also before we meet again, the Low Country Boil will be at the Farmers Market on August 13th, which is a Saturday, and on Sunday, something that everybody is really excited about, Sunday, August 14th, the Atlanta Braves World Series Championship Trophy will be there. So that is 2-3 big things going on at the farmers market, and Christy has done an outstanding job at managing all those. And so just a couple of cool things going on in Kingsport.
We have a new carousel manager, too.
Oh, that's right. And I have heard nothing but good things about her. People are raving. Jay actually came up and was just going on and on. Jay, the guy that makes the carousel go around, as in Landry's best friend, just absolutely was raving about how great she's doing. So really good things out of her.
Good.
I've met her once. I think her name's Heather.
Michael, the new carousel,
Our new
Boy.
carousel lady,
do you know her name?
Heather.
It is Heather.
Yeah, Heather, right. Okay, well, she's doing great so far. Thank you, James.
That's it.
Tommy?
I'd just like to say happy birthday to my old buddy, Daryl. And I'd also like to go along with Paul and congratulate all the teachers and opening schools and keeping all the kids in orderly conduct and everything. Real special around Kingsport.
When we meet again, DB will have their opening football game.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Hey, we had one unfortunate situation happen. Really doesn't concern this group, but in a way it may. The athletic director at ETSU was asked to resign. Haven't got to the bottom of it yet, but it's got to be more than his comments in the paper. And that was that he just wanted to see his kids have a good opening year at the school system.
All I know is what I've seen in the newspaper.
That's all I know too, but I've been trying to dig on it all day.
Tommy, the Axemen have already clinched the division crown for the Appalachian League.
That's right.
And with several games left, and then they go into the playoffs.
That's right.
So that's a big deal. Okay, thank you. That's it. Vice Mayor?
Well, the Allendale, Friends of Allendale are putting on their concert series that is on Thursdays. It starts this Thursday. Carson Peters will be there. They will have food trucks, and I think you can go about, anytime from, I think, 5 o'clock on. The music starts at 7. And this is a very family-friendly event. It is hosted at the amphitheater. And, you can bring lawn chairs and a blanket and sit out. I said there are food vendors there. And just have a really good time listening to some music. And this will be going on every Thursday in August.
We appreciate your service as the president of the Friends of Allendale, and you all do such a great job helping the city maintain it.
Well, thank you. And I've only been president for a few days, so I get no credit yet.
But you've been you've been a friend for a while.
I've been a friend, and everybody has an opportunity to be a friend. And, it's like Netherlandian. We have so many treasures that are a lot more than what can be taken care of by the city. And so we do always need the community to support. And as James mentioned, the Low Country Bowl is going on the 13th, which is a great fundraiser and the only fundraiser for Netherlandian. And then Friends of Allendale said this is a free concert. but they would love to have people join to be Friends of Allendale. And they can give you some more information about that when you do go out. So it's a great community event. We hope we have really good attendance. Last year, we had great weather. I don't know if we'll be that blessed this year, but we will hope so. And this Thursday, I'm going to mention this is the last time, but this Thursday is an election. And in Sullivan County in early voting, we had the second lowest turnout of any county in the entire state. There are 95 counties in Tennessee, and our participation in early voting ranked 94 worst. You know, the turnout is, we are a community in Sullivan County of close to 158,000. We have over 100,000 registered voters. We had less, I think a little over 4,000 people vote early, which is, I think when in 2018, there were 12,000 people that voted early. There's not a lot of competition in this election, but what you have to realize is that we are viewed by Nashville and by DC when it comes to getting grants and getting building projects and opportunities here. They don't view us as a county of 160,000. They view us as 4,000 voters. And that makes a lot of difference in where money is spent. And we talk a lot about that a lot of people in Tennessee feels that Tennessee ends in Knoxville. And if we don't turn out to vote, why should they come any further? So it's very important that this is a county election, and it is also the primary for your state representatives and your governor. It is very important that even if you only vote for one thing, that you go and you participate on Thursday. Because as I said, that is how we are viewed. You know, it is an honor to vote, and you need to look at these paper ballots because the presidential election will be coming up in November, and you need to experience that we went back to paper ballots and you're going to be coloring them. So you need to do this as a trial run. So I really encourage everybody to vote. Please look at the candidates. It is important for city residents to vote in the county election because everybody in the city pays higher county taxes than you do city taxes. A lot of the county money affects city money. So if you have questions on voting, please ask. People will be happy to give you information about what there is. There are sample ballots out there, but numbers matter, voters matter. Every year we talk about what we can do to get more people to participate. Y'all have to listen to me every single time until everybody votes. And I can get a list of every name of who voted, and I can check. That's all I have.
That is, well, that's an important message. Thank you. Ryan, you hit the nail on the head. Public Works did a great job during Fun Fest, and as Paul noted, they picked right up without missing a beat on their normal routine. And so we appreciate what they did. We appreciate, I'm looking at Chief Boyd, our fire chief. You're hiding behind the post. There's Chief Phipps, our police chief. Your guys were all out there. You know, our firefighters are all at least minimally qualified as lifesavers, and others have even greater degree of skills in medical emergency. And the police were there keeping people from running into each other, and it was just a great effort, and we appreciate what y'all do. By the way, your police dogs are a big hit. You know, you got to get them out to the children more often, I guess. Okay. Daryl mentioned the briefing we received yesterday is very important. It shows that despite a pandemic, inflation, supply chain difficulties, labor shortages, the city continues to move forward. And I mean the whole community. We're not talking about the city government. We try to help. But the community is moving forward, and we appreciate that. And there's people that want to come to us every day. The other briefing that I saw yesterday was our former city manager Jeff Fleming did an update on Move to Kingsport, and succinctly, we're a place that people want to move to because we just have a great community. Now, I got another announcement that Adrienne here, our public affairs lady, helped me with. Y'all probably remember in 2017 we celebrated the 100th anniversary of our charter. In March 1917, the city was chartered. All cities are creatures of the state. But that was actually our second charter. The first charter was in August 1822. So we're coming up on our 200th anniversary. Now, how do we end up with the one charter and then a second charter? After the Civil War, there was a lot of turmoil, and there were several cities, small villages like Kingsport throughout the state that lost their charter. But in 1917, we started picking back up to where we are today. So we're going to have an event at Netherland End area on August 20th, this coming August 20th. And the site for the celebration of the original charter will be the historic Netherland End, birthplace of Kingsport, where signatures were collected to petition for the original charter. The namesake of Kingsport, William King, purchased the Netherland End property in 1802, where he established his boatyard, shipping business, and Kingsport. That was very important. The flatboat business back then, particularly take the river up to Saltville, Virginia. Salt was absolutely essential to preserve meat and so forth back during those days. So that was a big deal. The celebration, again, will be on Saturday, August 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There'll be reenactors there. There'll be crafting demonstrations. There'll be self-guided tours, live music by the Kingsport Community Band, storytellers, a marked charter signing and proclamation. The mayor might even say a few words. You get to see historical documents. There's the stagecoach selfie spot. You can climb into the stagecoach and don't take off the stagecoach, please. Just leave it there. But you can take a picture of the stagecoach. And it'll just be fun and help commemorate our first anniversary, I guess you could say. But Kingsport has a very rich history, spanning 3 centuries, and okay. Well, we've come to that part in the meeting where we now have citizens come forward to speak on issue-oriented items, that the items of general civic interest. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. Are there any citizens that wish to come forward? Ma'am, please come on up. We've got 2 citizens. Well, I'll go with the ladies first. How's that?
My name is Rosemary Trent, and I see that you allocated quite a bit of money for various things in Kingsport, and I would like for you to possibly instigate a bus for the citizens of Kingsport that have to go to the methadone clinic in Gray, because most of the people that have to go there don't have transportation. I went there and talked to the people. I've been driving people there. I don't have a dog in this race, okay? I'm just a citizen. But people are trying to get off of drugs, and then they don't have a way to get to the methadone clinic. I talked to the people that run the place up there, and they said there's a dire need for transportation. And if they miss like 3 days in a row, they have to start all over again. They allocate, unless you're on Medicaid, they can get $250 a year. And they have to pay $5 coming, $5 going, which is $10, which doesn't last for a year. So we have the CATS buses. Hopefully, if they can just run once a day, but they have to go up there. On some days, they have to be there at 11, I think from 5 in the morning till 11 in the morning. And so they have quite a span of time that they have to be there. But if a bus could take at a certain time people up there, I think it would be a help, because here the people are supposed to get off drugs, but they have no transportation to get up there. And I'm told that a lot of people from Kingsport come up there. I also, I don't really want to toot my horn, but I own 5 acres in town with 2 houses on it that could possibly, the city could purchase the property and maybe make one of the houses a zoned commercial and maybe make one of the houses a methadone clinic. Well, I guess that's probably all I have to say.
Thank you.
You're
There's
very
possibly an agency that can help in that area. I'll have to check on that.
I tried. I've been to different, I don't know which agency I would go to.
My right.
Well, someone right after the meeting will talk to you. This is the first time, I guess, we've received this information, so we'll have someone, we have individuals that deal with the different agencies and then also our cats. So let us get your information.
I've been to cats, and
Yeah.
they said, of course, they don't leave the city.
It doesn't, that's right. There's certain constraints, but we'll have someone talk with you afterwards.
Yep.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you put your name and address down, that's so we can get a hold of you later on.
Tommy knows who I am.
Okay. Sir, would you like to come forward? Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, sir, if you could please state your name and address and put it in the
Yes, sir.
log there.
I'm Bradley Williams. I live on 1109 across the street. By the way, it's a nice building, I see, nice room.
Oh,
It's the
well-
first time I've been in here, it's nice.
Well, Mr. McReynolds had a lot to do with helping design the building,
I
so.
like it. It's a nice place.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay. I was just going to see if I could get some help around my neighborhood on some code enforcements. I've been reading some code enforcements, or codes. I've never had actually looked them up online. I've been reading some, and just I took some pictures. I don't guess y'all can. There's some. I don't know where to start. You know, the waste containers. I read, you know, it's supposed to be no sooner than 24 hours. You're supposed to set it out, and it's supposed to be closed, unless you're emptying it or putting something in. And then in the 24 hours, you're supposed to move it. And actually, the code says that you're supposed to move it behind the line of the house or the dwelling. Actually, where it's not supposed to be seen is what it says in the code I read. And a lot of people around the neighborhood, you know, I've called the code enforcer a lot about it, actually. And they'll leave them out all week, you know, 24/7 with the lids open. And we had some rat problems, you know, to put it bluntly, down the street. And I'm thinking myself, you know, if you leave trash cans out all the time on the curb in the sewers, you know, the rats will run through the sewer and they smell the trash and they come up into your property. And there is a lot of problem with that, I've heard. And I've even had one and then got rid of it, thank God. I had to get under my house, and I've got sinus problems, but that's personal. I don't know, we're supposed to get personal. That, and, you know, I called, they come out one time and gave the citizens that were doing that, I guess, a warning, and they started putting them back. But a lot of them, you know, just, they'll do it for a week or two, and the next thing you know, they're out 24/7 again. I think it's an important thing because my neighborhood actually, you know, where I live on Cross Street, you know where Cross Street, Tommy, it's actually pretty nice. I mean, we like to take care of our property, and up the street, even Forest Street, from what, you know, from my viewpoint, everybody uses that street, Forest Street. Everybody knows that. You know, you go from Stone Drive up that way in 4th Street to get to Center Street. Everybody travels that road. And there's so many people on that road, as a matter of fact, that leave their trash cans out, and they don't cut their grass. I mean, the grass, I've got some pictures if y'all would like to see them. I mean, there's people that barely mow all summer. And it can cause, you know, I read something in the codes again about infestation. You know, that kind of stuff can cause infestation, and we're trying to keep that away. You know, people are concerned about it. That and there's a house on Myrtle Street, and yeah, I know Myrtle Street is infamous. And that's just, to put it bluntly, it is infamous. But in my opinion, I was born and raised in Kingsport. I know that's personal, but in my opinion, you know, because we can't get proper code enforcement, I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm concerned about it because it does bother me because, you know, like I said, it's causing a lot of trouble, let's put it that way. There's a house around the corner, which my backyard, and there's a house. Some people bought that, and we've complained about them. They're cleaning it up a little bit, but on the other side of them, and then on the other side, there's, I think it's 817 Forest. I'm sorry, Myrtle. They were building it looked like they were trying to refurbish the house there. And I'm sorry, I'm over 5.
I'm getting out of here. I want to ask the deputy here a second. Didn't we put in the budget the funds for another code official?
Yeah, so the this board has recognized, and it takes a little while. I mean, it takes a little while to ramp up to get to the size. So there has definitely been an initiative within the building department. What it sounds like is they have spent a little bit of time out there, but it probably needs to be a concerted effort within that area. And we've got, Jessica can meet with you afterwards. Understand you've talked to some of the building official or the code enforcement, but Jessica all rolls up to Jessica. She'll meet with you afterwards and kind of describe kind of where we're going with code enforcement. Also, that'll give her a better perspective to then talk to the group.
One last thing, I've got a picture. I wish y'all could see this picture.
Sure, okay, go ahead.
Can I approach?
Sure.
This is the house on Myrtle.
Okay, that's
been going on.
okay.
This is 2 years old.
I got you. That's unacceptable.
And that was last night, but this has been going on for 2 years. That's the
You see.
house. This is the house right beside it. I think they own it, but in between, I mean, there is
Accumulated junk.
there is junk. I mean, I think
Yeah.
you see a lot on them. I think they're letting people
Yeah.
live in that,
Yeah.
renting it or
Yeah.
something. And I mean, that is literally my backyard.
I want, please, if you'd, after the meeting, if you'd meet with Ms. Harmon in the back.
I mean, and that is, this high grass.
Yeah,
This house, they've got it for sale now, but, you know, this has been going on all summer. I mean, right up on the stop sign.
yeah.
And That's right up from my house. And this is, y'all know what that is. That's a housing authority.
Oh, yeah.
They bought that. It's trashed a lot now.
That
They're
John D.
throwing trash
Parker's
back
old
there.
house.
I
John
just,
D. This John D. Parker's old house?
it's on the corner of Myrtle and Cross.
That's it.
I tell you, and it's been like that for a long time.
John D. Parker's old house. You know John D.
Yes, I knew John D. He actually lived on East
This is really
Sevierton.
concerning. There's another one even. I've read y'all's codes, rubbish, and all that needs to be picked up because it does encourage rat infestation.
I got you. Code enforcement's important. Citizens routinely email me about it, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention.
And again, back to what I was saying, if we could get, some really strong code enforcement through there, the street might look better,
I grew up here, and I always remember Forest Street in particular is a beautiful street.
Yeah, my mom lived on there. She had moved out lately. Some people moved in from Ohio. And now they're leaving, let's see, they're leaving junk on the porch. They're not mowing the yard. There's boxes and junk on the porch already. You guys know what I mean.
I got you. You're telling me that the pictures reflect what's still going on today?
Yes.
That's it.
Pictures
Well, thank you.
replace a thousand.
All right. Are there any, yes, sir. Are there any other citizens that wish to come before the board? Well, we do take code enforcement very seriously, and we'll investigate. If there's no other business before the board, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the Kingsport BMA meeting. This program has been a production of the City of Kingsport in cooperation with Milligan Productions, Milligan University, and Charter Communications. For more information, visit kingsporttn.gov.